Hey guys, welcome to our first podcast. I have my friend Moinak Nandi with me. This is our first podcast, so we are still figuring out different stuff, how things work. So first of all, Moinak, introduce yourself. Who are you? Who the hell are you?
I'm just a random dude who just used to be a childhood friend.
Just fumbled in this
podcast. And used to bully you, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you remember those days?
You are the one who got bullied by
you were the one who fell off. You were the one who fell off in the drain. You were the one who had a problem.
You fell off the roof while doing parkour.
No, I didn't. Anyways, let's start. Okay, so
okay. So what are you going to talk about today? You recently visited Kashmir, and I visited Ladakh, and I was posting like some stories and some pictures in my Instagram. What do you think about the stories? You know, the roads and stuff. Those are really like eloquent. Like it seems like a scene out of a foreign movie, right?
The one thing that I love about stories in Instagram, it's like it tells you a story. Like I've been the first thing that I did once I got up in the morning is that I had a breakfast. Then I booked a car. Then I got there. This is the view. So you like did exactly that in a proper way, and the way you told the story of your day was incredible. I loved it.
Yeah, but how was the like how what do you think about Ladakh? Like what do you think about Ladakh? Like from my like perspective, what I showed in the story. Like
from your perspective, I think obviously Ladakh is an incredible place. We all know your stories show that. But I think as a family trip, I don't think it's gonna be that cool of a place. I mean, if you have a photographer friend and a group, it's gonna be great. Group who are using their bikes.
Yeah, I even wrote it on the story. You know,
it's
like
great for
yeah, right. When you see those that place, that you know what white houses and all the stuff, it just looks like Santorini. You know. That place and the like the road which I was traveling at the end of the last one, you know, I just wanted to get off and just take some pictures, and you know, like that would have been so cool. But you need like-minded people for that. You know, it would have been a lot better if
when we're traveling with family, we're restricted. We can't get off the car. We can't say the car driver to stop. When I was in Kashmir, I told the car driver, "Bhaiya, can you just stop here?" And he said, no, hum to aage rukenge. We'll stop later for lunch.
Oh my God.
Then you'll take pictures. So it's like, you can't stop if you want to take pictures.
He's like, then you will take my picture. And you took another picture.
Yeah. I also had to take a picture of him.
He was taking you to a place where you can take good pictures of him. You know? That was his plan.
That was his plan, yeah. What can you say?
You were his hired photographer for like 1 week.
If you have a dirt bike, if you have a FPV drone, and you're like,
wow. Oh my God, that. I saw some ATVs there as well. Like that would have been so cool. I didn't get to.
Ride them. Yeah.
I couldn't ride them because I went with my family, and you know you're restricted, and I had my driver looked like Jackie Chan. You know, he was like Jackie Chan. He was so old, and he looked exactly like Jackie Chan. And I kid you not, he was like that was. I'm speaking random stuff right now. Okay, let's not.
Maybe he's the Jackie Chan of Ladakh. Anyway,
so what?
The restriction thing that you couldn't ride the ATV. The same thing happened with me in Andamans. My mom and dad were so scared I couldn't go on parasailing. So but how does this limit your creativity? I mean, do you think is it still possible to be creative while you're still traveling with the family?
Yeah, I mean, if you see, I took some self-portraits, you know, I took some long exposures and stuff like that. I mean, that is always possible to take in landscape from the from the famous tourist spots, the hot spots. But you know, there are lots and lots of content which can be taken, which can be extracted. Yeah, from other places where people are not so much, you know, interested in
that. And that is what I felt a lot in Kashmir, and I also felt that if you're traveling with family, it restricts you a lot. But still, if you want to be creative,
you're also restricted by you're also restricted by the time domain. You know, you have to wake up.
You're restricted by the time domain.
You have a packed program. Whereas if you're traveling alone, you leave some space for. You can also change your program. You can have a dynamic program. But whereas when you're traveling with family, they're always like, okay, we need to go here, and here because we spent a lot of money.
But I think we are deviating from the question. The question is, how can you be more creative when you're traveling with the family? I mean, is it possible to be creative when you're traveling with the family? So I know there's the time constraint. I struggle with the time constraint, but still I told the driver, "Keep bhaiya, ruk jao idhar, stop here. I'm gonna take a picture. If you don't, I'll just jump off the car. Please." I kept insisting my dad. It's like there's this constant state of discomfort you're gonna have to push yourself into.
That is so true.
Yeah, and that sucks sometimes, because when you're traveling with family, suppose you have a friend's family and they have also their parents, right? Your friends also have their parents, and your friend is not a photographer I'm not a photographer. I mean, I'm saying that your friend doesn't have any interest in photography or videography or any adventure of that sort. So he's like sitting in the car enjoying the view, and you're like saying like every 30 minutes, "Please stop
selfies.
the car." Yeah, "Please stop the car, bhaiya." And selfies is not bad, but yeah, if that's all you do, then we are not like-minded.
Yeah, that's
right?
it.
We are not like-minded, because I'm trying to get a good video of the road through the glasses which has the snowflakes in it.
Yeah.
But I can't do that because I'm sitting in the back seat, because I can't sit in the front seat because some elderly person in our family has injured their leg, and they need to sit in the front seat. So it's like difficult. It's difficult. You can't get off the car easily. But still, I kept on telling my parents, and they also kind of knew my habit and my nature, so they kind of helped me. But yeah, it's this constant state of discomfort.
You're right. But if I have to answer your question, like how we can be more creative, I think like creativity is like, I mean, it can be manifested in a lot of ways, right? If I'm taking a long exposure, if I'm taking a time lapse, that is also creativity. And if I am just getting off in the middle of the road and taking the good stuff, then that is also creativity. So like we have to even if we are constrained to the ones which we can do, like taking time lapses and long exposures of places where we stop, we have to be creative in that domain. We have to think of something. Like that also helps us to elevate our sense of creativity as well, because we need to figure out how to take really really great picture within that limited space which we have been given. So I think that is also,
you'll kind of learn that over time. The more you push yourself out of your discomfort zone. I mean, I learned that sometimes you can insist and stop the car and get a good photo. If you lie on the ground and just shamelessly on the road and try to take a good photo, you can. So it's like, it's the skills that you learn by pushing yourself into the discomfort. So yeah, coming from the skill set. So if I have a question, I have another question for you. So how did you level up your photography, videography skills? I mean, people try to level it up. Like, is there any tips that you can give for the journey you've been through?
I mean, it's just brute force, just brute force. You have to brute force things. If I take 100 pictures when I travel to Ladakh or some places like that, and I have only one picture which is good among the hundreds of them which I took, like that's how you level up. The next time when you take hundreds of pictures, you have two pictures which is better. Then you know how to shift your things, how to calibrate yourself to get the best picture within the limited time. So I think brute force is the best. Like trial and error is the best teacher of all time. So I think that is the only thing. You need to know how, like, basis of photography. You need to have that intuition, because I have seen a lot of people don't have that. When I had this thing from the childhood, and I'm not telling you that I'm special or something, but I could see pictures and understand whether it was unbalanced or not, that thing. So so that helped me. You need to know how to.
I think that ability of you, that the picture is balanced or not, that developed because we got into like taking pictures at a very early age. We started taking pictures when we were in class 7, right?
Yeah.
That's like 12 years old. We were just 12 years old. Now we are 20 years old. It's like 8 years. 8 years we've been
8 years
taking
of experience.
Pictures. There's been like 1
so
year.
You see, we were doing using that trial and error method even when we didn't know what that method was even called, right?
Yeah,
we were doing that trial and error method. Yeah,
and we also still do that trial and error method now. I mean, when I got into that forest in Betab Valley in Kashmir, I was like, there was this resistance that's always going to hit you. This resistance will always hit you that, oh my god, you want to take a self-portrait. I know that's a beautiful location, but you're going to have to set the tripod, you're going to have to manually focus that area, bend down and look into the viewfinder at the camera's angle. You have to bend down and look straight into the camera's viewfinder for like 5 or 7 minutes or 10 minutes and to fix the focus. Then you have to fix the settings, then you have to run within 20 seconds to that
then
area.
Then you take the picture and you look like shit.
And you look like shit. And if the picture
then you have to discard the whole picture.
Yeah, discard the one. You have to fix the proper angle. And
then you have a bad photo and existential crisis.
Yeah. It's a hard process. People think photography is like easy. It's a piece of cake. I don't think so. I mean, it's easy. We feel like it's easy for us now sometimes, but we sometimes.
Yeah, man. Like you have to agree that since we were doing stuff from our
like
childhood.
12 years old.
Now if you take a picture, now if I tell you to take a picture right now using your phone outside the window, like you have this, like it had been hardwired.
I know what framing I have
right?
to do. Yeah. It's like hardwired into us.
Yeah.
You know that if you want to take a picture of the road, we are gonna kneel down. We are gonna take it from a lower angle rather than
even if you don't kneel down, the composition and all this stuff, it will happen automatically. We don't think about it because it's just trial and error. We have failed so many times that our brain just know what to do to impress us, and we just don't get impressed if the picture is not that good, right?
So it's like creativity and everything. It's all trial and error.
Yeah, and that is the best teacher. Like even when you tell me how do I learn After Effects and stuff like that, I even tell you just jump into a project and just do it, trial and error, and that will teach you how to. Like even like I learned, like what was I talking about a few minutes ago earlier? Yeah, about crypto. I didn't know how crypto worked, but I just jumped into it and I just learned because trial and error. It will take a lot of time, yes.
But at this age, I feel like when we are in a phase that we have to establish ourselves financially, it's like we go to the college for like 7 or 8 hours daily, and then we come back, we feel like we don't have energy anymore. But it's like we still have to push after we come from the college, and it's hard, I know, but if we don't push, we are not gonna, like, there's always gonna be this resistance. I mean, when I start taking up a new thing, suppose when I started learning up that 1 hour Python video, it took me 4 days to finish that 1 hour. So when I started learning Python, I procrastinated a lot. But I somehow finished, and I learned that I can finish. When I started, it felt like, oh my god, how am I gonna go through this 2 hour or 1.5 hour video? But I stick through it, and I somehow enjoyed it. It's like there's this resistance that's gonna be there in the beginning, but once you surpass it, the ride is gonna be easier. So that's what you gotta do.
But there is a time which comes, and what I feel right now, when I take up something new, for example crypto or the library I started working on for our school assignment or something like that, these are all huge projects. I'm talking about 2,000 3,000 lines of code, and people would think that how can I finish it, right? I don't know nothing about crypto. Like this is where I am, right? This is where I am. This is my current position, and I need to reach a place where I know everything about crypto. I made a bot which invests and sells automatically. Like it does everything for me, and I'm making profit. Like this gap, this displacement, this distance is huge, and people get scared by it. But personally, I am in such a position where I had taken up stuffs like this in the past, and I have completed it. So at this point, for me, things are like, my future self will handle it. Just start. I gotta just start. Just have to set my foot forward. Then my future self will handle it. It will take 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but it'll happen eventually, and it just happens. So I think the key thing is not to worry about whether you can finish it or not. And the thing is, you just have to start. And if you're enjoying it, then of course you will be better at it. You will be good at it, and you will find out some way to, push forward.
Yeah, that's it.
And something I wanted to talk about, and before the mic malfunction, that is that just imagine, like at this point, we're just traveling with our parents, traveling with our families, and we are constrained to this box where we just can take pictures when we get off the car in the hotspots, tourist hotspots, and places like that. Just imagine, like, this is training us to make the most out of that limited thing which we are getting. Just imagine what will happen when we can travel with friends or like-minded people or alone. Yeah, just think about that. When we have everything, like a lion which had been caged for the for
so
the whole
if you push in the harder times, in the easier times, you're gonna excel a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need to start. I also face that resistance, like while starting up a new project or something. Like I'm facing it right now while making the new reels or something about my Kashmir trip. But it's like, I think I'll learn over time that you can overcome it. That's what I've learned with running, and that's it.
That makes me think that I gotta work on my reel as well. Ladakh reel.
Yeah. So just start, and like Ranit said, your future self will handle it.
This is like a really motivational video, like a podcast. You can do it.
Yeah, you can do it. Bye-bye.
So that's it, we'll be back next month with another podcast. If you just comment down below whether if you're in Spotify or if you're in YouTube, I don't know where you are, but just leave us a feedback, how we can improve it and what we can talk about. Leave us some questions, Q&As, what we can talk about. And this had been an unnamed podcast. We'll name it later. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen, Moinak Nandi, and back next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.